Well, hello everybody. In this video I will be showing you the Flexo Delux, the newest addition to the Manor Lords new plot system. And we will also be going over how to see your yields and never watch another Manor Lords guide again on how to calculate food. So the veggies, we're getting about 150 every year. Right now it's at 164, it's been fluctuating a bunch. There are some variables, I'll go into these details. Now for apples, I'm able to get around 80. Right now we're at 79. Now there is a tool which lets you see your resources. So I'll go slow, click on your name, come over to the records and resources tab, and then click on the item. Very important. You can see how much is in stock. You can see how much production is. Here's the problem. These production values, so you can switch between 7, 30, and 12, they do not match actual production. So something's going on with this feature. I assume in the future this is going to be correct, but I think consumption is correct. So we have a pretty modest consumption. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You'd probably have to look at the bigger picture, like small game, apples, mushrooms, to see the full picture of what is being consumed and what is being produced. But as you can see, it's kind of all over the place. Now, the other way to see this is in this tab here, where you can see your yield. Now, yield is impacted by your daily labor modifier and your efficiency bonus. So we have a 0.05 efficiency. So what you're seeing, this is a base yield. This can go up in two ways. It can go up by 10% if you build apiaries, which will increase your meadow bonus. So right now we're getting a 19% bonus from pollination. So if I were to place 5 houses with backyard extensions, like these guys over here, I could build out an apiary. Each one of these is going to raise it by 2% yield, up to 10% maximum. So that's how they're doing honey now, is backyard extensions. So that's one way you can raise it. There are also, of course, perks that allow, there's one that allows you to build a specialized house where it will increase the productivity of this field, and they will only work here. So you can do that, I'm pretty sure. I'll have to look into that one and test it out. Maybe I'm wrong there. And the other way too is there's only 2 families. And so when you upgrade this to tier 3, you're likely going to get something higher on the apples and potentially the apples, and higher on veggies. Now, in the patch notes, they have to replow the fields every year. So you can see here, not everything is at its full potential, in my opinion. It's at probably about 70% of its potential. So what I'm showing you here is just like the nitty gritty. This is about what you're going to get, about 150. And that aligns with what I had before. You're getting about 25 carrots per 0.25 Morgans or corpse pits. You're probably wondering, okay, how did I build a triangle? Pretty easy. And how did I build it? Why am I calling it the Flexo? Well, we're using a corpse pit again. So we're going to start from scratch. Now, I did run this for 5 years, and I'm getting, like I said, you're getting about 150 veggies and 80 apples with my current setup. Now, this is going to change, and I just showed you how you can check your own production. You don't need guides anymore on how much you're producing. You can literally see it. So this is important. I want to talk about this. Do not do this ever when you're building plots. This rounded edge right here, it hates these corners. This was the biggest issue I had when I was building benders and all that kind of stuff, and they don't work very well anymore. So all you're going to do is map out the bottom of a corpse pit like this. We're going to pause real quick, and you're going to come up literally 1 tile, and then you're going to go corner to corner here. So I tried this 3 tall, and I tried it in all different ways, and I fully believe that this is, for me, one of the more efficient ways to do it. Then corner to corner, like so. And that's it. Now, you can decide if you want to go from here to here, right? And this is really easy. You're not gonna struggle with this. Now, you don't get a really good clip, right? You see the clip, it's not very big. Personally, I prefer to have the majority here. Here, pretty much every time I've done this, I'm getting the sharpest thing ever. So the collection point is going to be right here. So this is the bottleneck, right? It has to move distances, but I'm still finding this to be a pretty darn efficient model. So that's how you build that triangle. It's real simple. Another thing you can come into now is you can look at people and their productivity. So you can see our productivity is 80%. Labor and transportation of goods is the majority of time, and waiting around is 20%. That waiting means that it's not grow season. That to me means we're at 100% productivity if you really want to get technical. So that's really great. One of them is a granary worker, and that may have some impact. So This is how you set it up. Now what's cool about it is once you do one, is it's very easily modular. All you need to do is take the snap to road tool off, find this point here where it goes long way, and place a gent right here, and simply come over like this. Simply place one corpse bit like this, and one corpse bit to the side. This creates the distance, and then align it like so. You have that, and that's it. So I'm just realigning everything, and look at that. I can build another one straight off. And another thing too is if you look at these roads, it's really, you could have a maze of these, and it's really, really easy. So now I can do one more. And so on mine, I did an apple orchard. So just 2 of these, honestly. And pretty much every time I do this, I get the perfect burgage plot. So I tried like 14, 15 new designs, and this is honestly one of the most effective ones I've found. So just to reiterate, the Flexo Delux, it's really good. It looks pretty decent. It looks a little bit better when you're looking at a ground level. People might hate this, but I just want to point out that, again, you can go into the general tab and actually see the yield per 365 days. The environmental factors are something you're gonna have to put into consideration when you're doing this, and you can actually get much higher yields than what I'm showing you. These are just the base yields I'm getting on a starting village. I tried this thing. It's actually kind of cool. You see the dead loss? So the collection point creates, it tears out the first row, so they have to walk all the way here for this, so I didn't like it. That's another thing about this triangle design, is it really, because it's angled downward, it really minimizes the loss of agricultural land. You're getting a really good yield off this, especially with the apples. You could probably go bigger on your apple plots, and I bet you that you're encouraged to do so. And you know, you could, I mean, like you could in theory. Let's do this. Let's do this over here, right? We have this gent over here. So what we want to do, take off the snap to road tool, so it stops doing that. Put our guy here. Oh wait, sorry, this was the Frankenstein. This was the 3 plotter design. That didn't work. My bad. So I got too many things going on. So what I'm thinking is we come over here and we change our minds on this, and say you wanted something just a little bit bigger, right? So you got your guy there, got your guy here. We're gonna go 3 over instead of 2. So you can see here that you do have the capacity to slightly modular this. It means you're going to need to increase your base by 1. And I don't even know if this is actually going to work. And then we can delete all of these and connect the corners. But it won't work for veggies, but it will work for apples is actually what I should say. But I don't know if it's going to give us that crisp. All right, we do want the snap to road tool on. I don't know if it will give us that crisp thing that we had. Let's try it. Yeah, that's awful. It's awful. Try it from the other direction to see if that works better. And that might work, right? That's not, oh, that's really good. Okay, so you do it from the other direction, expand it by 2. There you go. That's a lot of apples. So that's how I would do that. But this just allows you to, you know, kind of keep a square compact design and utilize the new system. So, because it's bending in a very different way. So there you guys go. The Flexo Delux. Thank you guys for watching.